So, da sind wir erst wieder
About right then, I
zurück.
saw some suspicious characters running through the bushes. Of course, I followed them. But that goddamn swamp was like a goddamn maze, and pretty soon I had no goddamn idea where I was.
Hier schneit auch einer.
So I just started walking, and pretty soon...
Steve ist eingeschlafen. Bei der Geschichte.
Steve? Steve?
Huh? Oh, no, I'm listening.
Indians surrounded me from all sides.
Wo kommen die denn jetzt auf einmal wieder her, ey?
Indians? There were Indians?
No. I just wanted to make sure Steve was paying attention. Now, where was I?
You were following the Daltons through a swamp?
That's right. See, Steve? Dwight's paying attention.
No, I'm listening. I was just resting my eyes.
So, where was I?
The Daltons.
Right. See, there's a reason so many outlaw gangs are made up of brothers. Being a brother is a very sacred thing. It's a bond like no other.
Bounty hunters! Stop that, son man!
So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet, but I did find a few of their cousins. You Kansans breed like rabbits. More Smiths or Heimhoffers or who knows what.
Ich finde immer ein paar ihrer
What's
Cousins.
more important than family? I bet Ben knows what I'm talking about.
Boom. Hätte ich schön aus Dynamit, ey. Bock, bock, bock. Ich habe noch gar nicht die Musik gelobt. Habe ich die Musik schon mal gelobt? Ich finde die Musik von Call of Juarez ziemlich cool. Ist auch immer... Was ist das denn für ein hässlicher, ey? Au. Oh, hinter dem Baum, ey. Die sind klüger geworden. Na komm her. Spacko. Da. Ich quere den Sumpf und finde die Daltons. Na, das wissen wir doch schon. Hey. Wo sind die Dalton, Jungs? Hier lang? Ich tippe mal drauf. Immer da, wo Gegner sind, ist immer der richtige Weg. Das kann man sich auch mal ein bisschen so merken, wenn man sich mal verläuft oder man nicht weiß, wo es lang geht. So wie bei Halo damals, wo ich das nochmal gespielt habe mit einem Freund. Da haben wir uns auch ab und zu mal verlaufen, aber wir wussten, da wo Gegner sind, da bist du richtig. So, jetzt ist hier übrigens gerade Schweigen im Walde. Das erzählt man der Geschichte nicht. Sondern wir jagen einfach nur Die dummen Daltons. Durch den Busch. Obwohl das ja nur Cousins oder so sind. Ah, wir sind aus dem...
I knew those Dalton boys were out there somewhere, standing together against anyone who would threaten them.
Oh Gott, fliegen! Wer ist das denn da? Ah, das ist ein Busch.
And that's when I saw it. A goddamn steamboat.
A steamboat in a swamp?
Yeah, Steve, but this wasn't much more than a wreck, really.
But how'd a damn steamboat end up in the swamps? Guess it floated off during the flood of '89.
Now, was it a stern wheeler or a side wheeler?
What? Does that really make a difference, Steve? It was a steamboat with a goddamn army on board. It was then that a fusillade of bullets come raining down from on high, and those vigilantes who accompanied me weren't anywhere to be found. But among those men that were shooting me, I thought I saw some familiar
Ah, ja, komm, was ist das denn gewesen? Ich war doch hier schon in Deckung. Da ist übrigens wieder die Winnie jetzt am Start, das sage ich euch aber. Auf so einer Reichweite ist die Winchester einfach. Hey, ich habe ihn noch erwischt, oder nicht? Ja, unser Ding ist auch wieder am Start, unser Konzentrationsmodus voll aufgeladen.
somewhere up there the Daltons were waiting.
Hey! Bin ich hier runtergefallen? Ah, da spritzt das
Sounds like
Bild.
you don't give up too easy.
That's the kind of man I am, Ben. I set out to do something. I do it. Surrender just ain't in my nature. Plus, I'm stubborn as hell.
Brother, I'm gonna make...
Explosive and ammunition. Irgendwo hier sind sie doch.
Right about then, much to my relief, the vigilantes finally arrived. Their leader motioned at a cabin in the middle of the top deck, pointing me directly at the Daltons. I finally had them, after months of dogged pursuit. But it turned out that they had me.
Take him out!
Was? Passiert hier noch was? Hallo? Hallo? Okay. Ich kann nichts machen, ne? Ich bin hier. Ich kann zwar hier noch rumgehen, hier. Kann euch die Nuggets zeigen. So, hier. Ja, kann ich euch zeigen, aber... Bewegungstechnisch ist hier gerade... Sensepause. Hm. Ich werde kurz speichern. Und wir sehen uns dann gleich wieder. So, herzlich willkommen zurück bei Let's Play Call of Juarez. Und es ist ja... der Gatling Gun. Vorhin ist mir ja das Ding abgeschmiert. Also das Spiel hat zwar noch funktioniert, aber irgendwas wollte nicht so, wie ich wohl will, wa? Und jetzt mal gucken, ob es jetzt funktioniert. Erstmal nochmal hier gucken, Geheimnis abstauben war. Nix am Start. Wir sind immer noch Silas Grease und ich habe mir erstmal eine Fassbrause geholt. Erstmal ein leckeres Schlückchen gegönnt, so. Let's try it again.
Right about then, much to my relief, the vigilantes finally arrived. Their leader motioned at a cabin in the middle of the top deck, pointing me directly at the Daltons. I finally had them, after months of dogged pursuit.
Oh.
But it turned out that they had me.
Take him out!
Oh. Jetzt hat's geklappt. Mal gucken, was jetzt hier los ist.
The Daltons had played me like a fiddle. Apparently, the vigilantes were on their damn payroll. They didn't just want to shoot me. They wanted to burn me alive. But finding my way out of a burning labyrinth proved to be quite a challenge.
It was a riverboat, right? I mean, it's not like it was a goddamn ocean liner.
Oh, yeah, but I was in a
Did
fight.
you hear about that ship that's gonna launch next year? Largest one in the world.
Well,
We're talking about the Titanic. If you ask me, it's too blessed dead. I don't think it'll even float.
so anyway,
Don't be stupid, Steve. They know what they're doing. They say that the Titanic is unsinkable.
oh God.
But getting back to that steamboat, how'd you get off it, Mr. Greaves?
I took in a lot of smoke that day, so I admit my recollection might be a bit hazy. But somehow I managed to finally disembark. It was time to settle this once and for all.
Yeehaw! Wir knipsen euch aus. New Level. Ordentliche Combo holen wir raus hier. Oh, das Ding läuft schon heiß, ey. Und Erfahrung pumpen wir ja raus. Das ist unglaublich. Oh mein Gott, wie viel Erfahrung wir kriegen pro Kill. Dann steigen wir mal eben 2 Level auf, ey.
Bob and Grant weren't about to come at me one at a time. They were in this together.
Bevor der irgendwas labert, hier erstmal der Reihe nach. Jetzt haben wir auch hier den legendäre Waffe, den Elfenbein-Schnellschusser. Und dann gehen wir nochmal hier weiter in die Richtung. Schnelles Zielen. Wähle deine schnellen Zielen aus. Deine Zielgeschwindigkeit mit jeder Waffe steigt um 30%. Das klingt doch schon mal gut. Ziehen ist immer gut. So.
Two brothers side by side,
Oh Gott.
determined to take me down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side.
Oh Gott, das dürft gar nicht gut gerade. Ups. Erstmal einen Schluck aus der Buddel, damit lässt sich es leichter schießen. Ja. Now I'm prepared. Kaboom!
Wrong. A sad end for those two. If they'd only known that Emmett was still alive despite his wounds. Paroled 14 years later, he moved to California and sold real estate and lived off the legend of that fateful day. And the tragic death of his two brothers.
Ja. 0 von 3 Nuggets der Weise gefunden, aber die Dalton Brüder dafür ehrenhaft getötet.
My own brothers died tragically as well, truth be told.
Episode 7, The Wild Bunch, Juarez, 1868.
It was 1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle into Juarez, Mexico. One night after my brothers retired for the evening, I found a little poker game in a cantina with a couple of cowboys. And I just couldn't lose. I even won an old Spanish coin that had to be 100 years old. Well, I was mighty pleased with myself the next morning as my brothers and I rode for Texas. But before we crossed the border, those cowboys caught up with us. It was Johnny Ringo, Roscoe Bob Bryant, and another asshole named Jim. They wanted their money back and everything else we had, including our lives, as those boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy." Well, those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, they were already dead. And right then I swore to myself that I would avenge them. Ringo you know about. But Bob eluded me, until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch.
Aus Silas Greaves hat eine schwere Geschichte zu erzählen. Kein großer Eisenbahnraum. Butch Cassidy's and Sundance Kids. Scheiße. Der Goldrausch in Kalifornien begann in der Mitte des 19. Jahrhunderts und lockte uns Menschen aus der ganzen Welt an. Und das habe ich schon mal vorgelesen.
Ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains. Led by Butch Cassidy, they were a loose association of outlaws who robbed banks and trains from Colorado to Montana. Among them was the Sundance Kid, and that murderous hombre I was tracking, Roscoe Bob Bryant.
Were you a part of that giant Pinkerton posse after the Wild Bunch?
No, boy. A circus like that would have slowed me down. Besides, I wanted Bryant all to myself. I'd heard about a large shipment of gold being transported to Wilcox, Wyoming on the Overland Flyer. I figured the Wild Bunch would likely hit such a treasure, and by God, I figured right. They blew the bridge with the intention of forcing the train to stop. Well, I assumed the Wild Bunch was likely in the still intact part of the train high above. I was determined to make that sumbitch Bob pay for what he did to my brothers.
Und wir haben den Elfenbein. Der Schüsse. Oh mein Gott! Mein lieber Scholledo, da musste ich jetzt aber nochmal flink sein hier.
I found the device they used to blow the tracks, so I knew I was headed in the right direction.
Okay.
My ears are still ringing from blowing up that bridge.
What'd you say? I can't hear a goddamn thing.
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch them.
Goodbye.
Shit!
From there, I had to negotiate an even more precarious route. But first, I would need to get my ass out of there.
Da geht's wieder mal nicht lang. Also auch kein Geheimnis da zum Abstauben. Da ist auch kein Geheimnis. Ja, mal gucken, mal gucken. Spring auf den verdammten Zug.
I jumped from the frying pan into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall. I had found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to fight my way forward past a whole passel of desperados. Outside, inside, any way I could, I made my way towards my prey.
Oh, der ist richtig.
Well, what about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day. As I mentioned before, I am not fond of heights. But I was too busy dodging bullets to worry about falling to my death.
Also hier geht's lang, okay.
Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway. So I was determined to take down as many of those bastards